What's happening? This your boy Mike Williams, the Breakthrough King, and this is Breakthrough Kings. What's going on? For those watching the replay, make sure that you hashtag replay. Feel free to please invite other people to the live stream. Tonight, I'm going to break down how to live an impactful life, and we're also going to talk about what the Breakthrough Kings is. And yeah, make sure you drop some comments. Make sure you share the live stream. If you're getting some value tonight, don't hesitate to share the live stream. Let me know below where you're watching us from, what city, what state, what country. It's a beautiful thing that you can get online and broad stream all across the world, especially if you got a message to share. Let me check down here, make sure you guys can hear me. And I think we're rocking and rolling. Yes, we are. Don't hesitate to drop some comments, ask some questions, and let me know how I'm doing. All right, what's going on, everybody? IG on my left and all sorts of platforms on my right. We got this new technology tonight where we're streaming on about 9 different platforms, and just the simplicity of it all to be able to do it. You got to take advantage of that. If you got a message, you got a word, you got a belief that you definitely want to get out into the marketplace, you got the tools to do it. You just got to do the work. And we're gonna kind of talk about that tonight, because that's going to be a part of living an impactful life. Okay. I started the Breakthrough Kings this year. We just launched on Friday. We got a lot coming. At the end of the live stream, I'm going to share with you guys what we got coming up, so you can know how to reach us, how to get in contact with us, how to work with us to help building this brand and this mission for the long term. All right, cool. Loving it. So, everybody wants to live that movie life, right? Everybody wants the whole, they want to go from rags to riches, right? They want to be the underdog to the top dogs, right? They want this movie lifestyle, right? And we all want to watch a movie like that, right? We all would like to see people who come from nothing and triumph, right? We like to see the losers turn into the winners. And, deep down inside your heart, you probably have a vision, right? You have something that you want to share with the marketplace, something that you want to share with the world. Maybe you're a little hesitant. Maybe you don't quite know how. And that's part of the reason why the Breakthrough Kings was started, to reach those men who needed to have a breakthrough. Right. So, my mission, I help men break through their personal barriers, find passion, discover purpose, all while leveraging the internet to create a financial legacy. All right. The internet is a powerful tool, and when you use it correctly, you can definitely change your life and the people's lives around you. And that's a fact. Hundreds and thousands of people do it every day. And there's still other people trying to figure it out themselves, and me included, been able to use the internet to definitely assist in the embetterment, right, of my life, and so forth and so on. So the first thing I would say to you guys in order to live an impactful life is you definitely have to have a vision. You have to have a vision that's greater than yourself. Over the course of the last 12 years, this is probably my 3rd company that I've started, right? The first 2 weren't as successful or as impactful as I wanted them to be, because it was more so to put money in my pocket and not necessarily to make an impact, right? And that's one of the major differences on companies that thrive and companies that, we don't really know about, is because we don't have a mission or a vision that's greater than ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I have a vision to be the greatest educational coaching platform, right, that creates financial breakthroughs and rebuilds the mind and body of the working family man, right? That is a huge vision. Right? That's a huge vision. And the only way that vision is going to be materialized is if I get up every single day and I'm doing it for more than just myself. I'm even doing it for more than my last name, right? I'm doing it to help other people, right, develop their last names as well. Guys, make sure you hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Also, make sure you hit that share button. Drop some comments below. If you have a question, let me know. And let's connect throughout the night. I'll see the comments up here and I will respond. I'll even put them on the screen here, because I got this new cool little live streaming tool. All right. Make sure you can let me know that you can hear me loud and clear as well. Sometimes I get on these live streams and my whole mic be mute, right? But I think I'm good tonight. So that's the first thing to living an impactful life is what? Making sure you have a vision, a working a vision that's greater than yourself. And all of us got something that, you know, we believe in, that we think can manifest to be something great, right? Especially men. At night, you sit around at night, throughout the day, you contemplate on what you can do to, you know, create some increase. And one thing I suggest to find out, you know, what that vision is write down all the things that you're passionate about. You might not know what your purpose is yet, but write down those things that you're passionate about. Write them all down. Just keep writing and write and write and write. And then after you write everything down, you determine which one of these things I can do every single day without thought, right? Which one of these things I can do every single day and put some energy behind in order for it to grow and manifest into something that's bigger than ourselves. Okay. Step number 2 is, I would say, show other people the way, right? Show other people the way. If it's something that you can transition and teach other people to do, that's when you really tap into riches, right? Because you're showing other people how to get the bag, right? You're showing other people how to, you know, live successful lives. You're showing other people how to do X, Y, Z, whatever it is that your passion is. Once you start to show others the way, that really changes the game for a lot of people, and that becomes memorable, right? That leaves us a legitimate impact on somebody else moving forward, right? It leaves a legitimate impact. And, you know, that's when your name starts to live a lot longer than you, right? Because you're now starting to impact people, right? And that's just simply a fact. And I believe that a lot of men, right, we got something that we can definitely impact people with. But Breakthrough Kings is here. We're here to bring it out of you, right? We're here to help you to develop, to get that message out so that other people can definitely hear your message. So for the first time, boom, look at the messages popping up. Love the music, brother. Nice. Happy Thursday evening. Big Mike. Black Bill Gates. I love it. I can dig it. Right. So you definitely got to show people the way. Right. That's extremely important for your name to live on. And the next step I would say is you got to tell your story. And a part of why the Breakthrough Kings was created is because of a lot of personal barriers that I had to go through. And one of my biggest personal barriers was witnessing the abuse of my mother at a very young age, right? They had an extremely toxic relationship, and I was around to remember a lot of that, you know, a lot of those things that happened. And me personally, not knowing that it would affect me later on, I was hesitant to go below the surface in any of my relationships because I was afraid that it would turn out toxic and be the exact same thing. Right. So I never went below the surface in any of my relationships. And when I did go below the surface, right, when I finally went below the surface and, you know, you got into a disagreement, an argument, something of that nature, I'd shut down. Right. Not knowing how I was going to respond if I, you know, continue to either entertain the disagreement. And so because I didn't really know how to talk through anything. So I just shut down, right? I thought that was the safest thing to do. And for years, I went through a cycle, this little figure 8 cycle from self-pity to frustration, self-pity to frustration, self-pity to frustration, right? Until I truly got into personal development and started looking within for the answers, right? And when you start looking within, you start to realize like all these personal barriers that you have and all these things that are holding you back from truly breaking through. Right. And when I dealt with that moment and realized that, you know what, everything that happened then had nothing to do with me, and I can create a totally different circumstance. Right. I can create a totally different life. OK, so by me telling my story right in the forefront of Breakthrough Kings, it makes that mission, it makes this mission so much more important. Right. To me. Right. And so much more valuable to so many men that are dealing with the exact same thing or some similar trauma, right, that they need to break through. A friend of mine's on Facebook, you know, made a comment one day. He said that, you know, he did a lot of the negative things he did when we were younger, right, because he didn't want to go home. Because when he went home, right, his father, you know, didn't know how to keep his hands off him. Right. So he said, you know what, if I don't want to go home, so I'm going to make the streets my home. Like how many men can truly relate to that a lot, right? So that's why, that's part of, the mission, that's part of me sharing my story and creating Breakthrough Kings, because I know it can reach a lot of men and help them to definitely step into their power, right? How do we, live an impactful life? The next thing I would say focus on is do it at all cost, right? When I launched Breakthrough Kings for the first time in 12 years, out of all the different types of businesses I've tried to start, for the first time in 12 years, I got a business consultant, I got a marketing specialist, right? I got people that could look out for my blind spots, because there's things that I just am not good at, right? And I don't need to do them because I'm terrible at them. So at all costs, make sure that you're doing everything that's required to make sure, this vision is materialized. It becomes real, right? And part of that is definitely self-leadership. And we talked about that last night, having self-leadership, understanding that you got blind spots and you're going to need some people around you to help pull out those blind spots and take you where you need to be, right? Put some emotion behind it, right? I used to think emotion was like, yelling, pumping people up. That ain't really emotion. Like, you can't even get all your thoughts out. Sometimes we got to slow down. And emotion just shows about, how passionately you talk about a topic, right? Simply having a conversation, when somebody's passionate about something, right? When a brother's passionate about something, right? He got the highs and the lows, right? And, so many brothers out there are passionate about music. They're passionate about connecting and networking. They're passionate about sales, right? They're passionate about the word of God, right? So many brothers out there passionate about so many different things. And if anything, if 2020 ain't teach you anything, and it's time to bring out your passion, right? It's time for you to start working in your passion and discovering what your purpose is, right? Because in a blink of an eye, all this can be taken away. So we don't want to be put in a position where we are living in regret because we didn't take the necessary steps that was required to grow as individuals and get to the next level, right? So put some emotion in it, right? Put some emotion in it. And I promise you, you're going to start attracting the right people. You're going to start making the right connections. You're going to start learning the right things. God's going to start telling you what you need to do and accomplish. I mean, you're going to start hearing and seeing things in all types of, different types of day, night, in your dreams, everything. Driving, you're going to be hearing things on the music. Like, yo, that's what it is. That's where it is right there, right? Just start putting some emotion into what you're doing. And the last thing I would say is definitely mental toughness, right? Mental toughness. There's going to be a lot of rejection on the way, right? In the last 12 years, I've had a lot of rejection. I remember one year I had dropped out of college, right? And I went back to New York, and maybe after about 3 or 4 months, I had got a job in a collection agency. And working that job for maybe a few weeks, I ran into an old friend who introduced me to network marketing, right? For the second time around, right? And I love the idea, and I was so excited about the idea that I drove all the way to Rhode Island, right? And I sat at I think it was the Courtyard Marriott or something like that. And I brought all my frat brothers there, and I was like, yo, y'all gotta know about this opportunity. Y'all gotta know about this opportunity, right? After about an hour or two of talking to them about the opportunity, everybody said no. Right? Everybody said no. And most people will be like, nah, I'm bagging this up. I'm not doing this no more. Right? I'm done. That was the first time I experienced some serious rejection. Right? But you got to have that mental toughness and simply keep going. Right? Keep going, keep pushing. Right? No matter the circumstance, you just got to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Until you tap into the person you need to be, that's going to be able to handle building a company, right? That's going to be able to handle, getting that vision out, right? Because in the beginning, it's just an idea. And yeah, you got to put in some work, right? But along the way, it's going to be a lot of moments where you just be like, yo, you're exhausted and you just want to give it up, throw in the towel, but you can't. And one of the things that I do, right, as you can see on the back on the wall there, there's a lot of, African-American historic figures. And I always go back to those stories. When I started reading, autobiographies, right? When I started reading them and really understanding, what they went through and still was able to accomplish things, it made me look at myself like, who am I not to put in work? Who am I not to chase my dreams when, like, if you look behind me there, Booker T. Washington, if you read the book Up From Slavery, the man walked 500 miles for an education he wasn't even sure he was going to get. But he walked them 500 miles, right? He walked them, didn't think twice, right? That's mental toughness. That's mental toughness, right? A friend of mine the other day, because I brought that story up on one of our live streams, and he was like, Mike, he was like, some people won't even walk to the corner store if they're not sure it's open. And that's a fact, right? The nerve of us, right? At least for me. That's why I got that's why I got those pictures on the wall. That's why I have my bookshelf to constantly remind me that I have it 150 times easier than them. And they got colleges named after them. Come on. Right? Mental toughness. Last night we were on our entrepreneur. I can never say that word right? We were on our business owners live stream, and one of the brothers mentioned that his grandfather had owned a farm, and he grew like I think he said lettuce or something. I think he said lettuce, and they were like really big heads of lettuce. And he would ask him, like, how do you grow these huge heads of lettuce, right? And he said it's simple, right? He said it's simple. He said, I go out into the field, I put 2 feet in the soil, and I water it. And, he's looking at him like, what are you talking about? He said, every day I go out, I put 2 feet in the soil, and I water it. And he says he looked at his grandkid. He said, you know what I do on Monday? He said, what, Grandpa? He said, I go out in the field, I put my 2 feet in the soil, and I water it. Right? If we want to live impactful lives, right? And what was step number one? Step number one is having a vision that's greater than yourself. It's going to require, right? It's going to require you to go out, put 2 feet in the soil, and water it, right? Constantly. It's going to take 2 feet in the soil and watering it. Whatever your ideal is, every single day, you got to get out there and water it, right? Part of that is going to be self-leadership. It's going to be digging deep. It's going to be definitely focused on understanding who you are, what the mission is, who you need around you. Every time somebody tells you no, you got to dig deep, put both feet in the soil, and keep watering it every single day. If it's one thing that I will never do, is let up on my dreams. I don't care how broke I become. I don't care how many friends I don't have. I don't care how many hours I have to work to come up with this money. I do not care. I don't care how many loans I got to take out, how many credit cards I got to use. I don't care, because I know that my vision is greater than me. And I know that my vision is going to impact millions of people. And you got to believe that about yourself. You got to believe that about your vision, so that you can go out here into the marketplace and do what you need to do, right? Dedicate yourself to a vision. Show others the way. Tell your story. Do it at all costs. Put some emotion in it, and make sure you build that mental toughness, because in the end of the day, that's probably the thing that matters the most, because it's hard, right? In one of our leadership chats the other day, I was telling them in the chat, I'm like, yo, it's hard to not eat good stuff every day, right? It's hard to, work out every single day. It's hard to be running 3 miles a day. Who wants to do this? It's hard, right? But all the hard stuff has what? Right? There's always a reward at the end. There's always a reward at the end. Right? So don't be afraid to do something because it's hard, right? That's part of the process. That's how you grow. That's the good stuff, right? My trainer says, he says, you're going to work out first thing in the morning. I said, why first thing in the morning? He said, because it's going to be the hardest thing you do all day. Everything else after that is going to be easy. You can do 20 burpees and all the other crazy stuff he has me doing. Guess what? You can make a sales call. You can work an extra hour, right? You can make sure you're there for your kids. You can make sure you're intentionally involved, right? Intentionally chasing the dream, intentionally, right? Following the steps, right? Intentionally doing things with intention. I'm telling you, the world's going to change when more men of integrity step up, dig deep, and start truly chasing their dreams. Right? We're gonna see a lot of things changing, right? We need our kings to definitely step up. And the Breakthrough Kings, our goal is to start rebuilding kings one crown at a time. And it's what we're gonna do, right? It's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it. All right, cool. That I appreciate you guys. I'm about to share with you guys some stuff that we got coming up, just to kind of give you guys some perspective on where we're going. You know what I mean? I think it's important to know where we're going, right? So let me bring this up real fast. All right, cool. So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to show up live and talk. Those live streams will be a mixture of interviews, right, from authors, coaches, speakers, business owners, everybody that has some value, right? I'm going to bring them out. We're going to talk. We're going to ask some questions. We're going to pick their brain, and they're going to give you some value. And that's all for free, right? We have Make It Happen Mondays. So every Monday I'll be dropping a video, quick video. It'll be all on all the different live, all the different social media platforms out there. We're going to have open forums where you guys, we can get together on a Zoom platform or StreamYard platform and just have an open forum and have some dialogue and talk. Right. We're going to have live events once COVID stop acting up. We're going to have some live events. That's going to be the Weekend Warriors. It's going to be pretty dope. Where we just psychologically, right? Psychologically changing men to start focusing on the healing process, to start focusing on building mental toughness, to get out here and get to work. Right. It's one thing to go to work, building somebody else's dream, and that's okay. It's okay to work. It's okay to have a job. You know what I mean? A job is a tool to help you manifest your own vision, right? But we can't keep doing it forever, right? We got to have a little something, at least something on the side that we're able to utilize to build the life that we want, and also make sure that we're leaving a legacy for our kids. And then if you want to learn my secret weapon called the His Method, just go to thehismethod.com, thehismethod.com. That's a free video you can watch, learn how I get through the healing process, the mental toughness process, and the systems of creating income utilizing the internet. So once again, this is your boy, Mike Williams. I appreciate you guys. This is the Breakthrough Kings. We love doing what we do. It's exciting to be here. I'm glad you guys hung in there for me for a little bit. Looks like I'm on time tonight. That's what's up. 23 minutes. Let's do it. We on Facebook, we on IG, we on YouTube, we actually on Periscope. Who's been on that for forever? We're there. And as many platforms as humanly possible to get this message out. I'm Mike Williams. Once again, I help men break through their personal barriers, find passion, discover purpose, all while leveraging the internet to build a financial legacy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.